Hey there, United students. Pastor Logan here, bringing you Monday, May 11th devotional. Don't know how your Monday's going so far. Me and Kayla woke up first thing this morning and we dove right into our finals week. We're both working on our masters. Kayla gets done this week. She will be graduated. And I know there's some of you are going through the same thing. You're graduated, you're finished up those last couple of things. Kudos. And some of you guys are transitioning to high school, coming into middle school, whatever it might look like. Congratulations on that big step. But I also know there's still some things to do. Maybe it's some homework or, for the rest of you, just like, I got to get these last couple things in so I can be kind of on summer break, even though it looked a lot different this year. So today, what I want to talk to you guys about is finishing strong, standing your ground, and staying the course. Okay. So those are our three main things for today. How do I finish strong, stand my ground, and stay the course? And a passage of scripture I want to talk to you guys about is out of 2 Samuel, chapter 23. And it's a story about David's mighty men. You might be familiar with this, but King David, David and Goliath, the guy we all kind of know, he had these kind of inner group of people who were called his mighty men. And of those mighty men were these three kind of his go-to guys, the Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan, like that kind of guy, the Dwayne Wade to LeBron James. And I'm not trying to offend anybody if you like Dwayne Wade more, but these are those kind of guys for those players. And so David, there's a story about David in Psalms 23 verses 9 about Eleazar. And Eleazar apparently stood by David when everybody else fled. In verse 10 it says, this is when the men of Israel retreated, he stood his ground and struck down the Philistines till his hand grew tired and froze to the sword. The Lord brought about a great victory that day. The troops returned to Eleazar, but only to strip the dead. Now, that sounds like something out of The Gladiator or some awesome Marvel movie right now. But the reality is, we get the story of like when David needed someone close next to him, this guy stood his ground next to his king, regardless of whoever was around him. And then everybody else left. They got too scared. But yet he stood his ground. And it said, I don't know how this works, but he fought so long that the sword was frozen to his hand. Again, I don't know the science behind that, but that's a long time. So this guy, Eleazar, stands his ground and he finishes this battle out. It says he swung and swung until there was no more enemies. And so I don't know where you're at today. I mean, when I woke up this morning, I had to get into it, take this test, and it was long. I got done. I was kind of like zoned out a little bit. Kayla and I both were. And maybe it's just like all you can do to like just do another day. Get online, get another Zoom call. Maybe you're like, man, I'm getting caught up behind homework or my siblings are on my nerves. And I don't know where you're at, but I would encourage you that wherever you are, that ground that you find yourself, not just physical ground, but that part of life where you're at, whether you're in middle school, high school, you're about to go to college, that ground is important. And God cares about it because you're here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. So God cares about what's on your agenda right now. So if it's that thing in front of you, if it's just doing some silly Zoom session with a teacher or some project, or you're like, man, I don't get to walk this year. It doesn't even matter. Man, it does matter because you know what? God has put you in this place and time around the people that you're around, and that's important. And that work is important. And so what is that battle in front of you? What's that ground? And what are you like not willing to like to give up on? Because the reality is like you're there, God's there with you, and like there's probably some form of battle to be won. And it's not yours to have to win, but God is with you, and He's the one that brings about the victory that we see in this passage. For me, I'm doing my work. It's really difficult. We're all having to make these changes for the moment that we're living in. But I want to encourage you to stand your ground wherever you're at, man. Don't let today just kind of get by and you realize, man, I don't even know what happened. Or you find yourself like one of these other individuals who just kind of fled when things got difficult. What does it look like to stand your ground and to finish strong? Finish this school year out strong. Finish this COVID quarantine strong. We don't know how many more days we have, but if we have 5 more days, then so be it. If we have 10 more days, so be it. But come out of this, stand your ground, saying, man, I'm not going to just like limp through or be running or complaining. And man, how can we finish strong? And this last part about staying the course. In Kayla's family, it's kind of a life motto of stay the course. And when things get really difficult, do you stay the course? Are you a person that stays the course no matter what? And that's not because I just got to grit my teeth and get through it. But the reality is it says that God is the one who provides the victory. But He's with us the whole time. So I don't know where you're at. Maybe you're just sitting here today and you're like, man, I can't get through another day. This is it. I have barely enough motivation to get out of bed. Maybe you're angry about school. Maybe you're angry about you're not going to get to walk. I mean, Kayla doesn't get to walk for her graduation, and we're grieving that right now. But I would encourage you this morning. I think God wants to encourage us to stay the course, to trust Him in this season, and stand that ground. Fight the battles at hand, and it might just be something simple like, man, treating your siblings super well today, right? Because they're not the enemy. Like, you don't have to go at them, or respecting your parents wherever you're at, man. I just encourage you to finish strong, stand your ground, and stay the course. I think it's what God has for us. And so what I want you to ask you is what do you think it means for you to stand your ground and not leave your king? And it's a difficult question, but where do you find yourself at? And what do you think it means to stand your ground? What does it mean to finish strong? What does it mean to stay the course? And I really highly encourage you guys. We don't want comments for ourselves. We don't care about that, but have a conversation with somebody, because the reality is, if you think that you're in it alone, you're probably not. There's other people who are going through it. And so what we can do is we can encourage one another in a season, like Eleazar beside his king. We can encourage one another wherever you're at and say, hey, I'm going to stand with you. We're going to fight this battle ahead of us. And we know that God's going to bring some glory out of it, and He's going to bring the glory out of it, okay? So that's my encouragement for you today. Love you guys. Good luck in finals or anything you're doing, finishing up schoolwork. Seniors, we're so proud of you. Congratulations on finishing. Finish strong. You got great things ahead of you. This time will pass. I know it feels like COVID will happen forever, but the reality is, I promise you guys, like, there will be another dawn. There will be, it's always darkest for the dawn. You guys are so close. Keep trusting God. Keep relying on Him. He's faithful to get us through the season. And we love you guys so much. Talk to you soon.